1, 2, 3. A, B, C. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. And guys, this is part 2 of 3 for, well, a lovely interview with Adam, Ben, and Chris on Soccerholics.
That was a lot of numbers, and you couldn't help reference Michael Jackson's song, the Jackson 5. Okay.
Come on.
Part 2, SoccerholicsTV. Adam has agreed to stay on with us for a couple more parts.
Yes.
And part 2 is about
Soccer.
Soccer.
Where did it begin?
Where do you begin?
Where did it begin? Well, I mean, the big thing for me was seeing how much energy was around it. So when I was, as I mentioned previously, I wasn't too into football when I was a little kid, but then going to Europe and the World Cup '98 really put a tiger in my tank.
Yeah.
And I actually never really got to experience playing much football. I just loved to play, but I was never directed.
Like in a team or
No, because
Sunday league or anything like that?
I don't come from a sporting family, so I was the only one. I was just this little kid who loved to kick a ball and score a goal.
Yeah.
So I never really got to experience what it was like to play for a team. But I loved to play, and that was pretty tough.
Okay.
And to watch football was very difficult here in the early 2000s. It wasn't accessible at all, and I actually first started watching the Serie A and things like that. And it took some time before I actually knew I had a platform. And I'm actually quite grateful for ESPN, SoccerNet.com. In grade 10, that's when my history teacher said, "Hey, check this website out," and that actually changed my whole world.
And you know what? Those opportunities. I know you come from London, so like you're used to having it there.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. I'm tired of the EPL.
You're born into it.
You're all into it. But over here in Canada, man, it was a struggle.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was a struggle. We had Serie A, and then we were just maybe getting the odd EPL game back in the early 2000s. And now what? Now Sportsnet World covers Bundesliga. If you get BN Sports, you get La Liga.
Yeah.
The occasional Liga 1 game. Serie A is still on TLC and a couple of the other channels. And
it's great.
That's just the big five. There's some
Yeah.
other leagues that may not get airtime. I think some Mexican league, some games here and there.
Yeah.
But
massive. I mean, obviously, massive kudos to TSN and SoccerNet and all those TV channels for putting those shows on. But they wouldn't put those shows on unless they knew they were going to have an audience.
Yes.
It's all about ratings. So while we touch on that, being in the city of Toronto, how has, in your opinion, how do you view soccer here in Toronto, and how people relate to it?
It's growing. Sorry.
We'll give you a time range. So let's say like back in like the late 1990s.
Okay.
So like 1998. How was it here? That's when the first World Cup happened. In your opinion.
I was 8, so it would be kind of hard to. I don't really remember, and I
It's
don't
a bit
come.
of a tough one.
I didn't come from like a sporting background, like I said, so I didn't have a reference point at all. I needed a reference point. That's why actually video games was important. I played a game called 989 Sports. And
I remember that. I played that game.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
And I remember playing that in like 2002. So that was how I got to see that there is such thing as an English league.
Right.
I got to see that there's a thing like Serie A, and I started to realize that there's a structure, but it didn't really make much sense to me. But I always had that association of, well, because I had the Overmars shirt, and I recognized that, and I love the name, I love the Dutch team, and I remember watching World Cup 2002, and then occasionally watching games on weekends, but it wasn't until the World Cup 2006 where...
I think that's the big marker, because you want to know why? FIFA 06 is still spoken of as one of the best. PlayStation 2, Xbox, whatever system you had, one of the best FIFA games because it had just all the leagues, and the World Cup came, and I remember the FIFA 06 World Cup, the Glory game.
Yeah.
Those are great moments.
Oh, God, I remember that, yeah.
Video games help bring people together, and they also help educate people when they don't have, like the footage on TV.
Yeah.
I was a big gamer. That was my game. I used to sit down and play with my brother. He's a big Liverpool fan. We'd have like extra time, 7-6. He'd score a Gerrard with a free kick. I'd be so angry because like the game would have like the bar, and like if you got in the blue, it's perfect. So he'd get the perfect.
Oh yeah,
barrel,
that's right. Yeah.
And then they do the celebrations. Like Henry had the one where he was like look back, and just like all the players had those good celebrations. Ronaldinho with the tins.
Yeah.
You remember playing that game?
FIFA's great. FIFA's great.
I mean, video games is such a big thing, right? Especially, I mean, I remember that was just I couldn't wait to come home from school.
Yeah.
And just
pick the best team, and I want to be Messi, or I want to be Henry, I want to Ronaldo, I want to score the goal like they scored last week, and blah blah. But staying on Toronto, are you quite as shocked as I am of how much support there is for like all the major clubs, not just TFC obviously, because they got, but you know, I mean, I'm doing my research. You know, there's supporters clubs for Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, and you know, obviously Arsenal, Man U, Man City, the Big Six, Serie A, you know, La Liga.
Yeah.
Are you quite shocked at that here in Toronto, which is in Canada, North America, which does not have normal following of soccer?
At this point, it depends. It's a mixed bag because I'm surprised, but also not surprised because football is becoming more accessible and people are catching on the train. So I think to remember to when I became an Arsenal supporter, I realized that I had a long journey to go. In order for me to say I support this team is a part of my life, right? I found a part of myself in that club, and it was like a match made in heaven. So I had to do my research. But now when we have football everywhere all the time, I think that's why the culture has grown. It was actually a very lonely experience for a while when I started watching football, and I started watching Arsenal. I had friends that I knew from high school or whatever. They knew me because I'd be walking around with a scarf around my neck. And they began to associate me with that because of that, right? And then when I found, well, it's now called the Midtown. But when I found the pub on St. Clair, I was around more Gooners, and I thought, wow. And then that's what really broke me into that community and into that culture. So the surprise, I think, is how ardent the support for TFC is. Like, the people that support TFC and are sitting in that, I guess we can even say, the ultra section. I have a lot of respect for those guys because they travel week in, week out. They have created their own culture. I guess they are familiar with what's going on in Europe, but it's Toronto we're talking about. This is how we do things here.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's great. It's
still
great
have
for the
to
city
be into the supporter section to understand that, but to touch on that, it's when you create your own culture, yes, they base some things off like Liverpool and stuff. They took inspiration from things that for once they couldn't have. As I touched on with some of the guys from Two Guys One Beer, our last interview, what was crucial for them is that they made the culture by almost being inspired. Okay, this is how Liverpool does it. Well, let's show them how we do it. Yes, you know, you change some of the chants so that way it fits your team and you develop legends. You know, Danny Dichio's still a well-respected name at Toronto FC. You know, any other club, you may not get that respect, but you know, you make these icons. And as I touched on, it's about building the culture. With England, it's been done for hundreds of years. So when you come to Arsenal, you feel overwhelmed. It's like hundreds of years you have to go through to go catch up. Like, look, I became a Gooner fan back in like 2002, so now it's like 15 years. So these past 15 years have been part of that history. Even though I've never been to a game, never been to London, never been to the Highbury, never been to the Emirates, never been to a away game, I still follow the team. But these TFC fans, they get to be part of that. And they get to go to every home game that they can. If they can't make a home game, they can't go to, you know, the away game. They have Football Factory. They have other pubs across Toronto where they get together and they gather. And I think that's the best part about sports. When you can say, hey, Adam, hey, Ben, you want to come go down to Midtown, want to go catch the Arsenal game? You have that family, and I know you point out your journey, like, it was being lonely, but I think the best part about Toronto is that it's brought together a community, so now you don't feel as alone. So for you, when you came over from London over here, you're like, where's the soccer fans? You found them. As for you, you discovered soccer, and, well, you found your community.
It took some time to find it, and it's wonderful. And the one thing that I find so fascinating is that I can be in a room full of people I don't know, but we can get along. We are all associated by the one thing, whatever crest we choose to wear. And I find that that's one of the beautiful things about football.
The game, it brings people together. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever you do. That's great. All right, we are out of time here. Part 2. Stick around for part 3 because we found out that Adam here is a fellow Gooner, and that's what part 3 is going to be all about. We're going to be talking all about Arsenal. I'm excited. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
I'm
it'd be
excited.
interesting. Get his view.
I'd love to talk about
me and him argue a lot, but you know, it'd be nice to have different Arsenal fans. It's
different
really
Arsenal
good.
fans. You got 3 different Arsenal fans here, guys. But either way, with 3 different Arsenal fans, we gotta get to part 3. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. What's our username for Facebook and Twitter?
At SoccerholicsTV for Facebook and Twitter.
That's true.
Of course, please subscribe to our videos. Trying to get more than 100. We're 109, 110 right now.
And growing.
And growing. So the more the merrier, because we do this for you. You know, it's the whole point of being
Adam,
here.
you want to close us off with any kind words to the fans?
Keep loving what you love, and you will learn. We will learn. Football is also. It's about what you know, but about being open to discovering more.
Very poetic. There you go.
Very poetic.
All right, stick
Look forward
around.
to part 3.
Part 3 coming up.